A very warm welcome, everybody, to the drivers' press conference ahead of the FIA Formula One Singapore Grand Prix. Two groups coming your way as ever. Here is Group 1. Closest to me, Lance Stroll, then Kevin Magnussen, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guanyu and George Russell. Now, I feel we should start with the man at the moment. Zhou Guanyu, you have just re-signed with Alfa Romeo for 2024. The news has just broken. Can we get your thoughts?
Yeah, firstly, very happy to be obviously continue with Alfa Romeo team, and I feel like the work has been done in the past, and also the trust between the team also from my side is being extremely, let's say, well and transparent together. So just very happy to be finally announced it in Singapore. I think last year I announced here as well to continue for this season. So yeah, really happy and exciting for what the team is heading off, and to be taking more into this project, for the future. So yeah, hopefully that we can sign off the weekend in a good way.
Sign off this weekend in a good way, but what are your ambitions for 2024 with the team?
We're going to taking part into the future development on next year's cars. I mean, the team is already starting on that project, but knowing me staying the team, I can definitely putting a lot more effort into that, and guiding together the guys at the factory with Valtteri together to making sure that everything's heading in the right direction, and to improve the weakness of the car and remain all the strong points. So yeah, I really feel, getting everything done here, we can really focus on just continue improving as a team, as a group of people. And from my side, just really happy to be able to setting more into Formula One. Of course, next year, it's we have the home race, so been waiting for that for 2 years already.
That's going to be special, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place, and I think it will be a forever rememberable, let's say, weekend for me in Formula One, because I grew up obviously watching at 2004, the first race back home in China. It's 20 years. Now we're heading back next year, so it's going to be amazing just to catch up with the fans and with the people in home crowd.
Now, what about this weekend? You were taken out last year in this race, so we couldn't really see what you could do. What are your expectations here?
Yeah, I remember that. I was actually waiting a lot on the marshal post, knowing the pit lane was literally 1 minute walk from that. But yeah, it's obviously last year not been great. Haven't finished the Grand Prix here, so this year I really looking forward to the new layout first of all. And on the other hand, I do feel that we have some package here, so hopefully it's working correctly, put us a step stronger to our main rivals, competitors, and finish the weekend off in a nice way together.
Well, look, good luck this weekend, and congratulations again on the new deal. George, can we come to you? Just before we came on air, you were telling us about a paddle competition last night. It's all getting pretty competitive among the drivers. Who are you with?
Yeah, it's getting very competitive, and bumping into a few familiar faces. So got there. We reached out to the local paddle court here to see if we could get some courts after hours. The first night we did it was totally fine. The second night they said it's sold out after hours, and when I arrived there, I had Lance playing on the court next to me. Then it was Lando and I playing, and then on the other court was Pierre and Antonio Giovinazzi. So Lando and I had a good battle. 3-2 in sets to Team Russell, so I was happy with that one.
Good day at the office. And of course, you've been busy since we last saw you at Monza. You took in the Rugby World Cup as well. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was great to see the opening game of the rugby as a sport I follow a lot. I've always been to the Six Nations in the UK. Would have loved to have seen England play, but didn't get the chance to do that. But I was there with Ineos, watching the All Blacks and France go head-to-head, and I was sat next to Richie McCaw, so that was a good experience. Obviously a rugby legend, and hearing his views on the game, and getting to know him.
All right, well, let's bring it on to this weekend now. Zhou mentioned the changes to the track. What are your thoughts on what's been done since last year?
I think it's going to make the racing a bit more exciting. I think Singapore is a really great circuit to drive, but it's a little bit challenging to race on. And historically, it's only really been turn 5, which has been an overtaken opportunity. Whereas now, I hope maybe into the new turn 16, there'll be another chance. It'll make it slightly easier physically for us, because it was obviously the longest race of the season in terms of time duration. So I think the track will probably be 9 seconds or so quicker this year. So a bit shorter on Sunday, but as I said, less fun in quali should be better for the race.
Well, what about the race? It was a difficult one for Mercedes last year, and if you look back through the history books, it's a race where the team's fortunes have fluctuated quite a lot. So what can we expect from you this weekend?
Yeah, last year we had a really fast car and unfortunately didn't make the most of it during the weekend, but I think it's so close at the moment between ourselves, Ferrari and McLaren. Aston Martin are fluctuating in performance. Hopefully we can close the gap slightly on Red Bull here on the high downforce circuit. So I think it is that battle for P2 on the road. But you're going to have to nail every single detail because it's going to be by the smallest of margins.
All right, best of luck to you. Thank you, George. Logan, if we could come to you now. First time racing in Singapore, how excited are you?
Yeah, definitely. I love a night race, to be honest, and I feel like it's a track, when I first started playing the F1 game a long time ago, this was the track I always came to. I don't know why, but it's exciting, and I've always wanted to drive here, so I think it's going to be a special weekend.
Now, the heat and the humidity is well documented. How have you been preparing physically?
Well, I've been preparing as much as I can in hot rooms. I feel, I don't know, maybe I already have a little advantage from Miami, but no, I think for the most part, it hasn't felt too bad yet. I think considering it's at night as well, it'll be okay. I'm sure I might change my mind come Sunday afternoon, but no, I think it'll be okay, but we've definitely been prepping for it slightly different.
And what about the car's performance? It's been quick at Zandvoort and at Monza, two very different racetracks. Now that we're back at a high downforce circuit, are you confident?
Well, I mean, if you look at the circuit on paper, it's not ideal for us. You know, those corners that have been removed from the last sector will honestly, you know, play in our favor. But we're not too sure. We'll be positive about it. Try and get the car in a good window. We were quick in Zandvoort, which was high downforce. So hopefully we can keep that going and try to find some pace here.
Now, Logan, what about 2024 with you? The guy on your right has just been confirmed. So the game of driver musical chairs is coming to an end. What have you been told by Williams? What have you got to do to keep with the team next year?
Yeah, I think, you know, from the team side and what I want to see from my side is just constant improvement throughout from now till the end of the season. You know, just keep making steps forward. I feel like I have made steps forward, you know, starting to deliver laps when I need to in qualifying and, you know, just being more controlled and comfortable. So I feel like as long as I keep doing that, keep coming into these weekends as well prepared as I can, the goal is just keep making steps forward.
Final one from me. Are they your teammates' shoes that you're wearing? Because, of course, Alex Albon's just come out with a new range.
These aren't. These are Jordans, so I'll probably just stick to these. But, no, yeah, he has dropped some merch, which is cool. But I'll stick to my J's.
All right. Well, Alex, if you're listening. Thank you. Good luck to you, Logan, in your first weekend here in Singapore. Kevin, coming to you now. Painful race last time out for Haas. At Monza. You and Nico Hulkenberg finishing 17th and 18th. Were your issues worse than you were expecting at that track?
Yeah, I think we were, you know, the weakest that we've been this year, I think, in Monza. Super difficult for us in both, you know, qualifying and the race. So, yeah, tough one to swallow, but, you know, we know that we have been lacking in development throughout the year. I think we started the year in a decent spot. You know, we were able to squeeze into the top 10 once in a while, and you know, other teams have just made bigger improvements. Williams have made a big step forward, and you know, obviously McLaren have made a massive step, but we're waiting for that step for us. You know, I think there's some interesting stuff going on in the background that we might be able to bring to the car this year, and I'm excited to see those things get to the car and try it out.
Okay, there's talk of a B-spec car coming for Austin. Can you confirm that?
No, I don't think I can confirm that, but it's certainly, you know, a lot of stuff that we're trying to bring to the car, whether it's a B-spec or not, I don't know. But it's a lot of stuff, and it's exciting.
In time for Austin?
Hopefully. I don't know exactly when it's due to arrive, but hopefully sooner rather than later.
And Kevin, what about this weekend? What about this weekend in Singapore? Do you feel a return to high downforce will be better for you?
Yeah, I think, you know, low downforce for us is not great. I don't think, you know, it's going to change the world. that it's a high downforce track. I still think we are where we are. We're behind. We know that. So we just every race we're trying to maximize our chances of some kind of opportunity with a safety car or any sort of odd opportunity that we can try and grab. We know on pace we're not there to score points, but we're still trying everything we can, of course.
All right. Well, look, best of luck this weekend. Thank you, Kevin. And Lance, thank you for waiting. Coming to you now. Difficult race for Haas last time out. Not the easiest one for Aston Martin either. Do you think you'll be more competitive here at a high downforce track?
I think so. Throughout the year, we've generally been more competitive on the high downforce tracks than the low downforce tracks. I think we struggle a bit on efficiency. So, I'm hoping we can have a better weekend here.
And this seems to be a track where you go well. I mean, I look at your race last year when you finished 6th. Great race.
Yeah, I always enjoy coming back here. It's a lot of fun to drive around here. It's a great track, a night race, which is kind of nice. Get to sleep in a little bit in the morning. So, it's a fun place to come racing.
And what are your thoughts on the change layout as well? Do you think it'll help you, hinder you?
I think it's good for racing on Sunday for sure. Like George said before, it's been a place that's a lot of fun on Saturdays, but can be a little bit dull on Sundays. So hopefully it can give us a bit more exciting racing on Sunday.
Lance, final one from me. The team has gone public with its objective for these remaining 8 races, which is to return to 2nd place in the Constructors' Championship. Do you believe that you have the tools underneath you to do that?
I mean, if we have the pace in the car that we had earlier on in the season, and we execute every weekend, it's definitely possible. But it's much more competitive than it was earlier on in the season. I think earlier on in the season, at times we definitely had the second quickest car, between second and third quickest car, and we've dropped back at a few of the events. Like I said, the kind of the lower downforce tracks, we've been struggling a little bit more, but I think if we get back to the form where we want to get to, and we capitalize each weekend, it's very possible. It's a very close battle between ourselves, Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren now, who are looking really quick. Even Williams at some races are looking really quick. So it's definitely very competitive between the whole field. But I definitely believe if we find the pace in the car that we've had earlier in the season, and we capitalize, it's very possible.
Okay. Final one. Did you win the paddle last night?
Yeah, it was some good fun. We did win our last match, but it was a lot of fun.
Okay, thank you. Let's open this to the floor now. Please remember your name and publication. First one, yeah.
Hello, this is Elle from Lysol Hong Kong. Okay, the question to Joe, to Guan Yu. First of all, again, congratulations for your the contract confirmation on next year. But is it a multi-year contract or the yearly contract? And also, are you excited for your first home race and the fans from China?
Yeah, I mean, firstly, yeah. Obviously, it's settled for next year, so 2024 I'm secured. And after that, obviously, how the team is settled into another project, so everything will be decided after that year to keep the options open. And on the other hand, I'm so excited to be going home because just the fans back there, they've been waiting, or a lot of them actually came here. Even some other races, they're going to come to watch. But I think it's just different when you have actually the home race, which you grew up watch as a kid on the grandstand, on braking or turning into turn 1. I remember that first 2 years I was in exactly the same spot, because I feel like you can see the start where the action is, and then going back there as a driver, we'll often compete. And also I think it's going to be just a sensational, weekend. So yeah.
Thanks, Joe. Yes, another one.
David Croft, Sky Sports F1. Joe, I can't wait to see you in Shanghai either. I think it's going to be a great weekend. Congratulations on the contract extension. Were Alfa Romeo the only team that you wanted to carry on with, or did other teams express an interest, and were you tempted to move elsewhere?
I mean, I think it was very clear, after, let's say, a lot of teams announced their drivers lineup. Of course, beginning of the year, I was just focused on my pure driving. And then halfway or before summer, I was looking for what are the options. And of course, there's other options. But for me, the priority was try to stay with the team. And like I said, that, of course, this year maybe went a little bit longer than expected, just because we want to make sure we maximize all the little details we have together into collaboration with Alpha. So yeah, for my side, I was very keen. That was my priority options for what's coming. And as we see, it's not like we have a lot of seats available, and I feel like I was very happy in that happy place with my engineer group people that I know already.